Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. Welcome to my online guide learning video. My name is Oscar, and today I'll be talking about cognitive dissonance, right? This is the one of the topics of week 7, and I hope you guys enjoy. Again, I'm going to discuss different aspects of the theory of cognitive dissonance. So some of the things that I'm going to mention during this presentation video. First of all, what is cognitive dissonance, right? What is the definition of it? And well, what it's implied in this theory, right? How does it work in our minds? How does it work in the psychological side of it? What is right, what is wrong, the effects. I'm going to mention also a few examples on how do we apply or how do we tend to get this cognitive dissonance in our daily life. How do we transfer this to the workplace, right? I'm going to mention some of those things as well. And last but not least, 5 ways to reduce cognitive dissonance, right? So first thing first, what is cognitive dissonance? An emotional response to incongruent beliefs, feelings, and behavior, right? Let's just say that cognitive dissonance, it's um, a war inside our minds when we try to do something that we think it's not right for some reason, right? In 1957, Leon Festinger stated that the theory of cognitive dissonance, a state of mental discomfort that arises from holding two different beliefs or values, right? We all have beliefs, we all have personal values. We are educated on a way that we think that something is right and something is wrong. But what happens when we are in a life situation that these two clash in our head? I should be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this, why I should be doing this, or why I shouldn't be doing this, right? So, moving on, how it works. Well, obviously, it's a psychological dissonance that it's attached to our emotions, right? Emotion markers attached to incoming sensory information. We take the information as it comes, and then we do the process in our mind of thinking, is it right? Is it wrong? And that's when the war inside of our head begins, right? Emotional experiences occur when information is first received and later think about that information. It's what I just mentioned. Feelings and beliefs are influenced by cumulative emotional episodes, right? The more a person is exposed to situations where he has to think, is this right or wrong? Well, the more dissonance he will create, right? Emotions directly affect our behavior. These emotions will trigger the way that we behave regarding the dissonance or the discomfort that we create for taking those actions. So according to that model over there on the screen, the action, the belief, the inconsistency. So we create consistency when our thoughts are aligned to our actions, right? But what happens when it's not? Well, we tend to change the belief, change the action, or change actual perception, right? We justify our actions, creating these perceptions that it's not wrong, and that's how the dissonance will go down, right? So some examples of cognitive dissonance are addictions. I'm going to mention a few examples of those later on. Fake news, peer pressure regarding well, organizational behavior, right? How does this happens also in workplaces? Religion, right? Culturally speaking, everybody has different values regarding their religion and on what is right and what is wrong. And conflicts of interest, right? Sometimes you know that something that you're doing is wrong, but hey, if it's worth doing it, why not, right? So addictions. These are the most common cognitive dissonance aspects that we create in our mind, especially for people that smokes, right? How many of us have met people that smokes and well, they will say, "Oh, it's okay. I just smoke one package a day." Well, one package is a lot, right? But according to whom? It will be a package. Maybe it will be 10 cigarettes. Maybe it will be just 5 cigarettes. And then they create this emotional perception that they're doing the right thing because they don't smoke too much, right? Same thing with gambling. It creates that perception of saying, I don't gamble too much. I just spend a few bucks and then it just starts getting bigger and bigger. But as bigger the addiction gets, the cognitive dissonance will try to justify that action, right? Overeating, same thing. How many times have we met people that will overeat because they're stressed? We create that perception of saying, yeah, I keep overeating all the time, even when I'm not hungry because I'm stressed. Well, yeah, the emotion of the stress triggers that to or trigger us to overeat even when we are not hungry, right? But then we create that perception of saying, um, it's not too much, right? Some people eat a lot more. I'm not overweight. I'm just a little overweight. Well, cognitive dissonance, right? We're applying the concept of trying to minimize our dissonance by creating those justifications. Procrastination, you suddenly start leaving things for later, and then it just suddenly turns out to be a lifestyle, right? Drinking, same thing. I just drink once or twice a day, a month. I'm okay. I'm not an alcoholic. Well, that's when compulsive behaviors start happening. And obviously, um, it's not going to end well, right? Fake news are also a good example of cognitive dissonance. The mental shortcuts, especially now these days that we're exposed to so many media, right? Social media, there's so many news out there. And honestly, we don't even know what to believe in. We don't even know what's real and what's not because, you go to Wikipedia and everybody is able to edit the information there, but you say, yeah, I read it there, so I believe that it's true, right? So we create these mental shortcuts and confusion in our minds and illusions that encourage us to believe that things are not true. We live in a fantasy, or the opposite. We think that everything is wrong because that's what we read the whole time, right? We are influenced by the media all the time, and we create these perceptions in our mind in order to minimize the cognitive dissonance, right? A few more examples on the screen. How many times have we heard the story of Robin Hood, right? Movies have been made about this plot where a thief steals from the rich people to give to the poor, right? Is it right? Is it wrong? Who is to tell, right? It's a character that has always been scrutinized by people for doing the right thing or the wrong thing, right? People that wouldn't eat meat, vegetarians, they also tend to create this concepts in their mind for trying to protect animals, while from some others, it's just the natural food chain, right? Um, Again, it's just the way of perception and it's just the way that we handle things. So I prepare a couple of short clips. We are not going to take too long on this, obviously, in sake of time. Um, but what happens when we are part of a situation that we want to avoid, right? We create the conflict of interest of this is not good for me, so this is how I'm gonna react. So I'm gonna play a short clip. Again, we're not gonna watch the whole clip, but um, this is a pretty funny cognitive dissonance um, reaction from the popular sitcom Friends. So let's watch it right here. Some time right now.
Can I talk now? Oh, sure. Ah, I'm pregnant. Ross, Ross. Hey, whenever you're ready. And your father, by the way, can I get you some water? Oh, good, good. Ross, there is no pressure on you, okay? I mean, you can be as involved as you want.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't understand. How this happened.
All right, so this is a great example of a conflict of interest, right? First, he receives the information, and then he start making excuses or start trying to avoid the responsibility of the situation of what's going on, right? Um, Speaking about peer pressure, speaking about organizational behavior and how we follow this psychological theory into our workplaces, we know that peer pressure happens at a young age when other people um, influence us to do things that we think that are not right. But unfortunately, peer pressure doesn't stop at school. It follows us into the workplace, right? We're going to see another short clip later on. But basically, peer pressure at work is when one feels compelled to follow group norms or have their behavior and actions be influenced as to fit in, right? A particular person or group of people at work. The most common situation, um, people want to hang out after work. You don't really think that it's the right thing to do. Maybe, they have a couple of drinks after work, maybe they smoke and you feel alienated from that group because, well, you're not being accepted because you are not doing what they do, right? So peer pressure could also create that conflict in our mind of not knowing what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing to do. This is another short clip that I prepared for this presentation of cognitive dissonance at a workplace. The moment of truth, we'll have a moment when we're challenged by thinking what is right and what is wrong at the workplace. And this is what we're going to watch now. Again, in the sake of time, we're just going to watch a short part of it.
Is that the new 600?
Yeah, looks like it. Should be 25 of them here.
Cool. Let me see one. Put down 24. What else is in there?
Uh, there's some flash drives and sound cards. Is that okay? Aren't they going to miss that?
Don't worry about it. Just change it to 24. Look, this is what? Your third day here? Tell me this. How am I supposed to recommend a product I've never even used?
Well, I don't know.
Of course you don't, because it's not possible. But if I take this home, start using it, then I can honestly tell our customers this is the best wireless card we have to offer.
All right, so this situation, it's also common in the workplaces when we enter a new job, trying to learn the ropes, and then we're trained by the people that already know what is right and what is wrong. But in this video, it seems that the person with the experience training the young kid, it's already making excuses of doing something wrong, right? Well, they are doing an inventory. He says, you know what? Just write down one less. It doesn't matter. Nobody is going to care. I've done this many times. It's okay. but obviously it's not, right? So the kid is challenged to the moment of truth and start dealing with that peer pressure of cognitive dissonance, the war in his head, if this will be right or will be wrong, right? So another good example of cognitive dissonance at the workplace. Next, we're going to talk a little more about how it works, the self-perception that we build in our minds, and how our emotional intelligence helps us to be aware of who we are, right? Who I am and what do I do. We align those actions, awareness of self-consciousness, and then apply it in um, our social interactions, right? You got the model there of the emotional intelligence that later on we're going to review in class as well, and all the elements that this creates to get a self-perception of what is right and what is wrong, right? Next, 5 ways to reduce cognitive dissonance. It's something that we all have to go through, again, in our daily life, being accepted in the social group, being accepted at work, being accepted in the classroom, the way that we conduct ourselves. But how can we reduce cognitive dissonance, right? Changing beliefs and feelings. We are influenced by the people that we are surrounded by. That's why they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, right? A very common saying. Amplifier discover additional positive features of selected alternatives. Amplifier discover additional problems or weakness with the alternatives not chosen. Compensate the dissonant decision by recognizing previous consonant. A few more there on the picture. Become more self-aware and understand the consequences of your behavior. Again, if your values are aligned with your actions, it's most likely that you will be able to control the emotions of cognitive dissonance, right? Seek external support if the stress or the emotions are unbearable and you're unable to handle those. Obviously, you will need external support. Look into yourself, make notes of your discomforts, check yourself continuously, and well, I don't know, maybe practice some sort of relaxation methods or something, right? All right, that'll be all for me. I hope you guys enjoy. Professor Trevin, thank you so much for listening, everybody. Cognitive dissonance, organizational behavior, interesting topic. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.